From Miss America to Fox News anchor, Gretchen Carlson was once a familiar face on television screens across the country. But today, she's rarely seen or heard from. What happened? Carlson's contract with Fox News was officially terminated on June 23, 2016. Her response came less than 2 weeks later when she filed a scorched earth lawsuit against her former employer. Carlson's legal missile was aimed at Fox News' chairman, Roger Ailes, alleging her firing came after she complained to him about the boys' club atmosphere and consistent sexual harassment she'd experienced in the workplace. Her suit went on to state that was particularly true of her former Fox & Friends co-host, Steve Doocy. Revealing how some Fox News anchors feel about each other in real life, she claimed Doocy treated her in a sexist and condescending manner. In Carlson's complaint, she claimed that when she confronted Ailes, he suggested an unorthodox solution. According to the suit, he allegedly told her, "I think you and I should have had a sexual relationship a long time ago. And then you'd be good and better, and I'd be good and better." Ailes then allegedly added that problems are easier to solve in the bedroom. She rebuffed his advances, she claimed, and was let go soon afterward. Ailes balked, and he issued a statement to the New York Times characterizing her claims as lies, insisting she was retaliating at him over his decision to fire her due to her low ratings. Ailes said, "This defamatory lawsuit is not only offensive, it is wholly without merit and will be defended vigorously." When Carlson filed suit against Fox News, she couldn't have known that she would spark a cultural tidal wave that continues to reverberate. While Ailes held fast in his denial, other women came forward to lodge similar allegations against him. Ultimately, more than 20 different women shared stories of Ailes' alleged sexual harassment over a period spanning several decades. The following year, Ronan Farrow published a blockbuster expose in The New Yorker, featuring similar allegations against Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. The story led to what became known as the MeToo movement, which could be traced directly back to Carlson. In a 2019 interview with Salon, Carlson admitted she never envisioned herself blazing a trail in preparation of MeToo.
It seems hard to believe even now because every day for me is still sort of surreal because I had no way of knowing how this was all going to turn out.
As more women emerged to share their own horror stories about Ailes, it became increasingly difficult for Fox News to defend the indefensible. On July 22, 2016, he was forced out. While resigning in disgrace was certainly not his preferred outcome, the sting was blunted by his exit package, reported to be a whopping $40 million. In his resignation letter, Ailes refused to admit guilt, instead boasting about his accomplishments at the cable news network. He wrote in a letter obtained by Reuters, "I take particular pride in the role that I have played advancing the careers of the many women I have promoted to executive and on-air positions. I will not allow my presence to become a distraction from the work that must be done every day to ensure that Fox News and Fox Business continue to lead our industry." After his firing, Ailes did not have much time to settle into a life of retirement. In May 2017, just 10 months after his resignation, he died following a fall at his home that left him in a coma from which he never woke up. In light of Ailes' departure and all those accusers bolstering Carlson's lawsuit, the network's lawyers recognized they were engaged in a legal battle they could not win. Rather than fight Carlson's case, Fox News chose to settle. In early September of 2016, Carlson received a $20 million settlement. According to experts in employment law, Carlson's settlement was one of the biggest on record for a single person suing over claims of sexual harassment. Money, however, was not all that Carlson received from Fox News. She also got an apology. The network said in a statement, "We sincerely regret and apologize for the fact that Gretchen was not treated with the respect and dignity that she and all of our colleagues deserve." Carlson also issued a statement about the settlement. She wrote, "I'm ready to move on to the next chapter of my life, in which I will redouble my efforts to empower women in the workplace. All women deserve a dignified and respectful workplace in which talent, hard work, and loyalty are recognized, revered, and rewarded." When Carlson said she planned to redouble her efforts to ensure that women in the workplace wouldn't have to go through what she did, she wasn't just paying lip service. She followed through by writing a book about how sexual harassment in the workplace could be quashed. The title of that book, Be Fierce, Stop Harassment, and Take Your Power Back, pretty much said it all. While writing the book, she came to realize that her experience at Fox News was far from an isolated incident. She told TV Insider, All these women had reached out to me after my story broke, and I was like, this is an epidemic. It was from every profession, every socioeconomic class, every race. She was happy to be viewed as a role model for others, an example of the positive outcomes that can result from simply speaking up and telling the truth. Carlson told The Politic, women said to themselves, maybe I can come forward too and have similar results. Maybe I will be believed.
I've just decided to try and make a difference on this issue.
Carlson taking on Fox News was a David and Goliath story that Hollywood could not ignore. The first project to emerge was Bombshell, a 2019 feature film taking viewers behind the scenes for a fictionalized account of what took place between Carlson and Ailes. Carlson was played by Nicole Kidman. That same year, the Showcase Cable Network debuted The Loudest Voice, a 7-part miniseries focusing on the rise and fall of Ailes. When interviewed for Katie Couric Media, Carlson said, "It's amazing and surreal, and I never thought it would happen. They're both amazing actresses. I have great respect for both of them. I know that they have both put in a tremendous amount of research to play my character, because I can't tell them anything about it." The reason she wasn't able to share her own personal account stemmed from the $20 million settlement she received from Fox News. One condition of the settlement was that she sign a non-disclosure agreement prohibiting her from saying anything about her former employer and the sexual harassment she'd experienced while working there. Forced to sign an NDA, Carlson quickly realized that was the rule, not the exception, for women receiving settlements in workplace sexual harassment cases. As she told Katie Couric Media, NDAs had an undeniably nefarious purpose in these cases, barring accusers from saying anything while letting their former employers control the narrative. The more she spoke with other women, the more she realized how NDAs only served to further the victimization of women who had already suffered more than enough. She felt a calling and quickly embraced her new role as advocate and activist. Carlson told Vanity Fair, "As I started hearing from women, I felt a duty to try and make something of it. For so long, women have been silenced on this issue. I felt if I didn't do it, who was going to?"
We're doing this for the myriad of women across this country and men who have been muzzled.
Carlson took her opposition to NDAs to the next level when she traveled to Washington, D.C. in 2019, visiting Capitol Hill to make her case before a House Judiciary Subcommittee. In her fiery remarks, Carlson asked lawmakers to imagine a woman who'd endured sexual harassment in her workplace, spoke up about it, and then lost her job while being legally forbidden from speaking about it. Carlson explained, "No one else at her place of employment will know what happened to her. And worst of all, the perpetrator gets to stay on the job because nobody knows about it. The whole process is secret. And that person is free to harass again and again. And I ask you today, what is fair about that?" In addition to NDAs, Carlson also opposed arbitration agreements in employment contracts, which prevent sexual harassment victims from going to court and instead force private settlements via the arbitration process. Carlson became a vocal advocate of a bill, the Ending Forced Arbitration of Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment Act, which was passed by Congress in February 2022, largely due to her advocacy efforts. The following month, President Joe Biden signed that bill into law. Carlson told Katie Couric Media, "On March 3rd, I was with President Biden and Vice President Harris at a public signing ceremony, and it was one of the greatest days of my life. Not for Gretchen Carlson, but for the millions of workers that I have helped through this legislation." In January 2018, Carlson experienced a full circle moment when she was named chair of the Miss America pageant. She put her stamp on the venerable beauty competition by announcing some sweeping changes with what was called Miss America 2.0.
We will no longer judge our candidates on their outward physical appearance. That's huge. And that means that we will no longer have a swimsuit competition.
That change did not go over well with officials at the state competitions, and there was serious pushback, including a petition calling for Carlson's resignation. Carlson, however, held fast.
And change can sometimes be difficult, but we're evolving in this cultural revolution.
Ultimately, Carlson's tenure with Miss America proved to be brief. In 2018, reigning Miss America, Cara Mund, wrote a letter claiming that Carlson and the board had reduced and marginalized her role, comparing her experience to workplace bullying. Mund received the support of 11 former Miss Americas, who called for Carlson's resignation. The following year, she stepped down. As the years passed, Carlson has continued to fight for the rights of women. In 2025, she threw her support behind the many victims of convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who died in 2019. Carlson told The Guardian, The survivors are the heroes in this Epstein case because there would be no case without them and their courage and bravery in speaking up. We aim to continue lifting survivors up and letting them know that we are here to support them. According to Carlson, the fact that the veracity of Epstein's victims is not being questioned marks a major shift forward in a culture in which women who publicly share their allegations of sexual abuse are either disbelieved or denigrated. Carlson told Forbes, "The American public is smarter than we think because they are not demanding to hear from the survivors. They believe them. Instead, they want accountability for these male predators and female predators."